What's cooking, Bianconeri? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Today, what are we talking about? We're talking about Juventus news, but it's all about the transfer market. It's about to heat up. It's only October. We still have a couple months before we get to January, but we have a ton to talk about. Stick with us. We'll fill you in now. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back. You're in the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sokro. Today is Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. And of course, we have your latest rundown of all things Juventus. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join the community that we have here. We want to have each and every one of you become a part of what we're doing here. And we appreciate each and every one of you that joins our community, hangs out with us during the lives, and watches every video, to be honest. But we appreciate the community that we're developing here. Also, hit that like button as well, as it helps our algorithm grow. So that way we can reach more Juventus fans around the world. Anyway, let's just go ahead and jump into it. What news we have for you today. And the very first one is more of a backtracking of the news from yesterday, unfortunately. And that would be Fabrizio Romano, who had to come in and step in and put his foot down after, I can't remember the guy's name. The guy, I said it was one thing and it was something totally different. I'll have to pull it back up. It's out there in the Twitterverse, on our Twitter account. If you want the exact names, we'll call him EK. I believe it was EK where the anagram, monogram, whatever it was. Anyway, Fabrizio Romano is saying there were no approaches from Newcastle's new board for Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey will decide his future in December and January. I believe he also said in the actual tweet by Fabrizio Romano, he said there were no approaches for Aaron Ramsey and there were no approaches for another player, but he said as of yet kind of thing. So it's still a possibility, but as of right now, it's on the table for Newcastle. And Alejandro and I talked about it a bit yesterday. It was a bit confusing of a report. Obviously, we report what's put out there. But one of the things that's really confusing to me is I was like, if you're Newcastle and you're now probably the richest club in the world, I mean, arguably you're the richest club now, even over PSG, even over Man City, and you can go get whoever. Why the hell is Aaron Ramsey number one on your wish list? That doesn't make any sense to me. Even if he's just going to be a little piece there, why would he be anything on your radar to go grab first? The reason I say that too is even if you have other targets, a bigger target, if you will, if you have those big targets and you want to bring them in, that's fine. But what I'm saying is adding Aaron Ramsey doesn't even help if you're just asking him to be a role player, because right now he's sitting on the bench 75 to 90% of the time. So it doesn't make any sense for anybody to want him. I guess I shouldn't be saying this. Everybody, you all do want him. Please want him. Please take him from us. I realize I'm not doing a great sell job. Not that a lot of people, not that there's any, brokers out there trying to purchase, looking at me for advice. But yeah, you want Aaron Ramsey. Please buy Aaron Ramsey from us, is what I should be saying. All right. Let's move on. I think this is kind of a retread. I think Lastampa said it again from yesterday, but basically just confirming that Juve's interest in Donny van de Beek is serious, with Tchouameni being in contact with his agent. I think maybe they said it again from yesterday. Great. I mean, we talked about it a bit on the live. If you didn't watch it yesterday, go back and watch it. But Aurelien and I were talking about definitely what it looks like for Juventus' transfer market. Things are going to get more difficult too, because it appears that Tchouameni, while he is definitely a big target for Juventus, clubs like Real Madrid and whoever have you are going to throw their hat in the ring as well. I think Chelsea might be interested too, even Man United. So it's going to be a difficult purchase, but it's a player. Tchouameni, I think, could be the next big guy, and I think Juventus should go and get him if they can. Donny van de Beek would be a nice, I guess he'd be a nice substitution if you can't get Tchouameni, but to me, Tchouameni should be the number one guy without question. Speaking of Tchouameni, we can go ahead and talk about him now. And Gazzetta dello Sport saying that Juventus are thinking about proposing an exchange between Mckennie and Tchouameni, with Monaco being interested in Weston. So that'd be an interesting transaction that would definitely solve a lot of things for Juventus. I wonder if Weston Mckennie would be interested in going to a Monaco, if that's a club that he would go to, even if he can play more, even if he can play a lot. You go from Schalke, which is definitely on the level of, or below of like a Monaco, but you're playing for Juventus now. Are you just going to be looking for the big clubs now that you're a rising star? When it comes to, not coming to Juventus, but when it comes to the U.S. men's national team. And I understand as an American what the U.S. men's national team is on the stage compared to other teams, compared to the Italian national team and everything like that. It's not the same. It's not equivalent. but I do wonder how that'll pan out. But that could be an interesting solution. Would be nice to see. I know a lot of us would probably like that. Even myself would like that because Tchouameni would be a difference maker when it comes to what he can bring to Juventus. Let's move on. Now we've got Dejan Klose to talk about in his future with Juventus. And this was a big one that broke last night that I was even surprised about. Because we talked about it, again, we talked about it on the live. Check out the live. We thought maybe he wasn't really going to be an option. But now it looks like Calcio Mercato is saying that there's a real possibility that Juventus will try to sell Kulusevski during the January transfer window. And basically they were just saying that basically he's on the market. Dejan Klose is on the market for Juventus. If any serious offers come in for him, they'll be considered, and he'll be definitely out there to be an outgoing player. Don't tell Julian; he won't be happy about this. But anyway, it's kind of unfortunate because I thought Kulusevski, when he first came to Juventus, he brought some nice little sparks there, but never could be the player that he was at Parma. We'll see. When I say never, he still has time. He still has time to prove himself, but we'll see if that ever comes to fruition or how long this ends up taking for the player. And then we really go into our final story of the day, and it's gonna be a short video today, guys. I apologize, but I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This one's actually a very kind of an important story, though. And we have, oops, did I accidentally click on the wrong one? Anyway, ignore that. Anyway, the last story of the day is actually about Romagnoli at Milan. Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that he's back on the free agent train. The chance of Romagnoli and Milan not finding an agreement is high. Juventus could make a first move to bring the defender in on a free transfer soon. I think this would be a great move by Juventus. I think you should go after Romagnoli if you have the chance, if you have the opportunity to bring him for free in. It would be a great opportunity because you have guys like Chiellini, Bonucci. Bonucci's 34. He'll be 35 by the end of the season. Chiellini's up there. Chiellini is in his last season or two. I know with his contract, we'll see. It can always be extended, but it seems unlikely. I think more likely that Chiellini, his story when it comes to playing professional football, will end after the World Cup. I think that's what kind of looks like to me. I don't know about you guys, but it seems a lot to me that Chiellini will more and more likely. Mancini will convince him to play in the World Cup. Bonucci will convince him to play in the World Cup. He'll play in the World Cup, and then after that may be the time that he he doesn't lace up those boots anymore on the field. So we'll see. But anyway, Romagnoli, I think, would be a solid option to bring in to Juventus, especially to have as a guy who could either give them some rest or at least that could come in and be a replacement in there, and that'd be a solid option for the future. Let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you think about Romagnoli? Do you think he'd be a good option to come into Juventus? Do you think there's a better option? I know people are high on Dragusin and players like that. I just don't know if they're ready yet or if they're the level that Romagnoli is right now. Let me know your thoughts on that, as well as any other of the topics that we talked about today. Kulusevski leaving. Do you not like that or whatever have you? Tchouameni and Mckennie, that deal could be a big one going further. And maybe we're a bit disappointed that the Newcastle news doesn't seem to be true. Hopefully Newcastle will end up still going by that and maybe being like, hey, we'll take Ramsey. We'll take him off your hands. We'll take him from you. Anyway, guys, that's all the news I really have for you today. I appreciate you for tuning in every single day with all the news that we give you regarding all things Juventus. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button right now, as well as make sure you go in and hit that like button too. It really helps our channel grow, and it helps the outreach when it comes to other Juventus fans finding our channel. Also, if you don't mind, make sure you hit the bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter, and follow my boy Julian Genotti at Genotti151 on Twitter as well. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.